Buenas tardes, clase. Hoy vamos a repasar los verbos reflexivos. We're going to review reflexive verbs and adverbs. Los verbos reflexivos, los adverbios y la rutina diaria, our daily routine. Okay, here are some examples of reflexive verbs with reflexive pronouns in front of them. Reflexive verbs are conjugated just like regular verbs, except we have a reflexive pronoun before the verb. What is a reflexive verb? Okay, reflexive verbs reflect the action to the speaker. Okay, a verb's reflexive when the subject and the object are the same. Whoever the subject is, they're doing the action to themselves. Okay. When a verb is reflexive, the infinitive ends in se, so you can pick out a reflexive verb on a vocab list. Let's say it will always end in se. It will have the reflexive pronoun se. Okay. Lavar, to wash, is non-reflexive. Lavarse is to wash oneself. Lavar, it could be lavar los platos, to wash the dishes. Or lavar el carro o el coche, to wash the car. But if I'm washing myself or a body part on myself, I use lavarse, a reflexive verb. Los pronombres reflexivos. Okay, reflexive pronouns tell us who is doing the action to themselves. Okay, we use me when we're talking about myself. Me ducho. Let's take to shower oneself, for example. Me ducho. I shower myself. Okay. Te duchas. You shower yourself. Se ducha. He or she showers his or herself. Nos duchamos. We shower. Y se duchan. They shower themselves. Okay. Me, te, se, nos, and se are the reflexive pronouns we have to use. Those are the recipients of the action. Tres reglas. 3 rules. The reflexive pronoun changes according to the subject who is doing it to themselves. Okay, so if you are the subject, you are getting yourself up out of bed. Te levantas. Just like a regular verb, we conjugate the verb according to the subject, and we also have to change the reflexive pronoun. So if you were talking about yourself, me levanto. Número 2. Reflexive pronouns are placed first before a conjugated verb. Siempre me ducho por la noche. Okay, we place it before the verb if it's conjugated. Okay. If it's attached, if we have an infinitive verb, we attach it to the end of the infinitive. When there's 2 verbs in a row, remember, you do not conjugate the second verb. Me gusta ducharme por la noche. I like to shower at night. Okay, so it comes before a conjugated verb attached to the end of an infinitive. Número 3, when using the reflexive with a part of the body, use a definite article, not a possessive. For example, in English you would say, I brush my teeth. En español, me cepillo los dientes. You do not say, me cepillo mis dientes. Use a definite article when talking about a body part. Okay, nos lavamos las manos. We wash our hands. Okay, how to conjugate a reflexive verb. Okay, reflexive verbs are conjugated, like I said, just like a regular verb. Let's take the verb lavarse, which means to wash oneself. Okay, so first, if you want to do that in 2 steps, first you would just conjugate the verb like a regular present tense verb. Okay, so let's ignore the reflexive pronoun for now, and let's just take a look at lavar. Yo lavo, tú lavas, él, ella, usted lava, nosotros lavamos, ellos, ustedes lavan. Okay, it is conjugated just like a normal verb. However, now, because the verb is reflexive, they're doing it to themselves, we have to include the reflexive pronoun. And since we're conjugating the verb, just like the previous page said, the reflexive pronoun, the me, te, se, nos, or se, has to come before the verb. Okay, so it'll be yo me lavo, te lavas, se lava, nos lavamos, se lavan. Adverbios. Adverbios, they answer the question, ¿cómo lo haces? How do you do it? Do you do it quickly, slowly? Okay? We said this ending mente was the English equivalent of ly. Quickly, rápida, mente. Whenever you see mente, it's like the English ly. So we take the feminine form of an adjective, and then we add mente to the end. For example, clara means clear, claramente, clearly. Constante, constant, constantemente, constantly. If our adjective ends in anything other than O or A, we leave it the same. For example, an E or an L. Fácilmente, constantemente. There's some examples of sentences. ¿Te despiertas deprimidamente o felizmente? Do you wake up depressed or happily? Do you wake up sadly or happily? Okay, la prueba. La prueba. Okay, número uno, verbos reflexivos. Pronombres reflexivos are reflexive pronouns. Me, te, se, nos, or se means who's doing it to themselves. Stem changers. Hay tres verbos. There are three verbs that change stem. Vestirse, to get dressed. Despertarse, to wake up. Acostarse, to go to bed. Okay, and each of them has a different stem change. Vestirse has an E to I stem change. So inside of the boot, we said the E changes to I. The vowel closest to the ending changes in stem. Me visto, te vistes, se viste. Nos vestimos, se visten. Despertarse, to wake up. Me despierto, it's an E to an IE stem change. Me despierto, I wake up. Te despiertas, se despierta. Nos despertamos, right, outside the boot, so we don't take the stem change. Se despiertan, they wake up. Y finalmente, acostarse. It is an O to U stem change, our third type. Me acuesto, te acuestas, se acuesta. Nos acostamos, they go to bed, y se acuestan. Nos acostamos is we go to bed, se acuestan, they go to bed. So those are your three stem changes. Número dos, adverbios, our simple formula. Take the feminine form of the adjective, la forma femenina, y añade mente. Okay, vocabulario, la rutina diaria. You need to know how to explain your daily routine. Primero me despierto a las 6 de la mañana. Después me levanto a las 6:10. Me ducho rápidamente y me seco con la toalla. Me visto rápidamente y como el desayuno. Salgo al colegio a las 8. I leave to school at 8. Being able to describe your daily routine. Some resources on the Wikispace page. Prezi. There's the Prezi presentation on adverbs, los adverbios. There's some practice links to practice conjugating reflexive verbs on the wiki, and also this video for reflexive verbs will be available to you right now, what you're watching on YouTube. If you have questions, si tienes una pregunta o dos preguntas, you may email me at rfaber@westernchristianhs.com. Gracias y hasta luego.